What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Vikings Now by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Siepman, and thank you guys so much for joining us as a part of our weekly live show where we break down the latest around your Minnesota Vikings heading in to Week 2 versus San Francisco 49ers. I cannot wait for this matchup. Brian Flores versus Kyle Shanahan. Can the Vikings offense keep it going against a very, very tough 49ers defense over there? But hey, if you guys want the Vikes to beat the Niners, you guys know what to do. Flood the comment section with skulls, as we are actually getting injury updates around Christian McCaffrey right now. As 49ers head coach Kyle Shanahan told reporters that running back Christian McCaffrey will be limited today in practice due to his calf injury and Achilles tendonitis. But shout out to Blake in the chat, Roger, Tom Lyles, M. Mac, Drew Dom saying SKOL Pat. Blake saying Vikings are going to wipe the floor with the Niners. Yeah, I am going to be giving you guys my score prediction on today's live show. So I'll keep that hidden to the chest. And once we get there, I will unveil it for you guys all in the live chat right now. But M. Mac saying, I said last week that Cashman or Van Ginkel would get a pick. Well, M. Mac, who's your call this upcoming week to get a pick against Brock Purdy? I'm excited for this game. We're going to be talking about a lot of key matchups here. But I do want to kick into this question with Sam Darnold having a very, very solid performance against the New York Giants. What are your thoughts on Sam Darnold as it stands right now? How are you feeling about him? How many wins do you think the Vikings could get with Sam Darnold under center? You guys let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section. Blake saying Gilmore is going to get a pick six and Harrison Smith will get his last sack he needs to get into the legendary club. Yeah, I was hoping Harrison Smith was going to be able to get home against the Giants this past weekend, but he ended up getting an interception, which is great as well. But M. Max saying this week Gilmore or Murphy will get one. Murphy getting a pick would be fantastic. That would be fantastic. A Byron Murphy, kind of resurgence game would do wonders for Vikings fans. But Swerve saying 11-6. Roger Bong saying love Sammy Dimes. You liking Sammy Dimes right now? As I do want to unveil real quick, and we'll get to more here in a second, we do officially have our Week 2 football, 49ers at Vikings. And I wanted to do a special deal for all the people who tune in during our weekly live show, because obviously our watch parties, do a whole lot better. We have a whole lot more people in here, but I'm going to give you guys a chance. We're going to be doing $5 throughout the entire show today. Put your name on the football if you guys want to show some love to the channel. And then we will be giving away this football this Sunday when the San Francisco 49ers come to US Bank Stadium. But before we dive into all that and more on today's show, I do want to tell you guys quickly about our sponsors on today's Vikings live show. And the first one being Game Time. Now, if you guys download the Game Time app and use promo code CHATSPORTS, we will hook you guys up with $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Now, Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks, which helps you filter out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. So download Game Time today. What time is it? It is game time. That link for you guys is in the live chat right now. Click it and give Game Time some love. We also have another sponsor on today's live show, and that being Prize Picks. Shout out to my favorite daily fantasy sports app out there right now. And if you guys plug in promo code CLNS, you guys will get $50 instantly when you play just $5. That's code CLNS on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly. Or when you play $5, and you don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks, run your game. Now, they do have a sweet deal going on for the whole month of September still, where one Caleb Williams passing yard gets you one win on Prize Picks every week in September. That's right, only 1 yard gets you an automatic win every football weekend in September. So that's 3 more weeks of free W's. Don't miss out on this deal on Prize Picks because it's gone once September ends. Prize Picks, run your game. Shout out to Roger Bong coming in with the first $5 super chat, and it would only be right if Roger Bong is the first name I put on our Vikings MVP football. We are going to be giving this away Sunday during the watch party, so make sure you guys do tune in for that. Yeah, every five's a name on that ball. Yeah. Oh, not for like the ref or anything. I'm just signing them on here. Yeah. Yeah, now appreciate it, Roger. Coming in. Let me just sign your name here real quick. Roger Bong, shout out to you saying, I want to be on there. SKOL Vikings fam. If everybody could show Roger Bong some love in the live chat right now, sending in some money to help keep the lights on here at Chat Sports. So shout out to Roger. Give me a SKOL Roger down below. Raj, how you feeling about this game this week? Do you have a score prediction for me as it stands right now, Roger? Let me know if you got one down in the live chat right now. Yeah, we are getting an injury update around Christian McCaffrey. Nothing really new here. He is just going to be limited at practice today. Still dealing with that calf. Still dealing with that Achilles tendonitis. So I'm assuming McCaffrey will not play this upcoming Sunday. Honestly, in my opinion, I think he has a better chance to go to IR instead of forcing his way out there on the football field this upcoming Sunday. But Roger going 23-10. I'm guessing you got a Vikes victory in there, Raj. I love it. I love it. Yeah, I'll give you guys my score prediction on the show later today, as Tom saying, you always cheer me up. Thank you, Tom. Shout out to you. You always cheer me up when I see you in the live chat. But let me ask you guys this. Do you trust Brian Flores this upcoming week? Now, obviously, we all had faith in him last week going up against Daniel Jones, Brian Daboll, and that New York Giants offense. But this is a different beast. This is the San Francisco 49ers. Kyle Shanahan calling plays. Brock Purdy at quarterback. The plethora of weapons that they have in Trent Williams, George Kittle, Debo, Ayuk. Even if McCaffrey's not out there, they're still a stacked offense. But let me know your thoughts. Do you trust Flores this week as the purple filth coming in saying why? Drew Dom saying Dallas Turner gets a sack on Purdy. I would love that. Swerve saying he did it last year. Yes, he did do it last year. It's going to be a little differently because the Niners didn't have Trent Williams or Debo Samuel last year. So a little different of a challenge here for Flores. But, if I'm answering this question, I got faith, no doubt about it. I think he is, the best defensive coordinator, top 5 defensive play caller in the entire National Football League every single week. I don't care who we're going against. It could be against Andy Reid and the Kansas City Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes at the helm. I'm still trusting in Flo to get it done on the defensive side of the football. But we will be getting into a mailbag in about 35, 40 minutes or so. So if you guys got a question you want to ask me about the Vikings, about the 49ers, it could be about, potentially next offseason, just anything you're feeling about your Minnesota Vikings. Or if you guys got a question, you guys can either super chat to get it on the show or just use hashtag Vikings in the live chat to say, hey, who do you think is going to be the biggest X factor versus the 49ers? Hashtag Vikings. Our software pulls it, and we're able to put your question up on screen. Roger saying, nobody I rather have than the Flo Mister. Yeah, no doubt, Raj. I love Brian Flores. He just runs a very entertaining style of defense. And I went back and I watched the film of the Vikings-Giants game last night. Bobby Skinner does a really good job on YouTube. He is a Giants fan, so it was more from their perspective. But just, watching the film yesterday, Brian Flores actually didn't bring a lot of pressure in week 1. He kind of went against his MO. He was still lining guys up at the line of scrimmage, 7-8 guys on these 3rd and long situations. But he pretty much dropped back into cover 2 or cover 4 majority of the time. The Vikings actually ran cover 4 more than any other team in the NFL this past week. And they never ran cover 0 once. They never ran cover 1 once. It was cover 2, cover 4, very stock coverage. And I think they were pretty much just telling Daniel Jones, we're still going to give you the same looks pre-snap, but you got to figure it out post-snap to see if you're going to be able to be successful. Obviously, he wasn't, so I thought that was a little bit of a gamesmanship by Flores. Daniel Jones anticipating that Flores is going to, bring all this heat, bring all this pressure, when in reality it was the opposite. It was a lot of stock coverage, the Vikes dropping back, and I thought it was the right call. But coming up on today's show, we got our preview, we got the latest injury news, we also got my score prediction on our first segment. And then, if the Vikings are going to beat the Niners this upcoming weekend, how do they do it? What do they need to accomplish? We'll talk about that here in about 20 minutes or so. And then, like I said, mailbag coming up in about 35, 40 minutes or so. So hashtag Vikings, get up on screen, let your thoughts be known. And then also, $5 super chat. We sign your name on the ball. Maybe somebody wants to join Raj here as the only name on the Vikings Now. Week 2, MVP versus the 49ers. Big time game. Cannot wait to, get after it and watch the Vikings play another football game this weekend. But if you guys are ready, hit that thumbs up icon. Once we get to 20 likes, we'll start today's show. We're about 4 likes away right now. We got 17, so now 3 likes. Hey, if you guys could hit that thumbs up icon, helps to just get the stream out to more and more Vikings fans. I would really appreciate it. As Bulldog LLC in the chat saying, what happened to the Packers? I missed it. It was a tight game against the Eagles. They weren't able to take advantage of Jalen Hurts throwing across his body and throwing a pick in the red zone late in the fourth quarter. Jordan Love got hurt, but I'm assuming he's going to be back week 4 against the Vikings. I believe it's just a sprained MCL for Love, so he'll be there. As Bulldog saying, I'm streaming any defense that faces Daniel Jones in fantasy. Not a bad idea. However, they are playing the worst defense in the National Football League this week in the Washington Commanders. But Max, and if so, do you think the Vikings will target him? I don't believe so. No, we got some problems going on behind the scenes right now. As you guys got double me up on screen. Look at that. Roger saying, how is Jordan Addison? He's probably not going to play. He's doing some work today inside at practice, so he's not going to be out there on the football field. So I'm assuming Jordan Addison's not going to be able to go this upcoming weekend. Yeah, just give us a second here, guys. We're just having some what's going on? Oh, you're good. Kelly saying SKOL baby. Shout out to Kelly. Roger saying LOL. Yeah, don't worry. We just got some problems going. Software is giving us some issues, but we will work through it, and we will dive into our segments today. As Jazz Heard saying Jalen Naylor season. Yes, it is, especially if Addison's out. Naylor's going to have to really step up as a wide receiver 2. He was battling for that wide receiver 3 spot. Now he's going to be thrown into the 2 position here, most likely against the 49ers. And it does stink because Addison had a massive game against the Niners last year. Found the end zone 2 times. Should have been 3 times. I was actually watching that game back. Addison, it was late in the 3rd quarter, I believe, or maybe the first drive in the second half. He was going down the left sideline. Ball thrown out there. He had a chance to one-hand it. It just went right through his fingertips. Or else Addison would have found the end zone 3 times against the Niners last year. But Daryl saying, Daryl, go Vikings. Shout out to you. Purple Filth. What up? Alan D in the chat. How you doing? But if we could get 3 more likes on today's live stream, we will dive into our official preview. What's going on with the Minnesota Vikings against the San Francisco 49ers. So if you guys could hit that thumbs up icon, lock us in. And yeah, help us out on today's live show. But let's dive into it. Preview coming your way. Vikings, Niners, week 2, US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. I cannot wait. It's Tom Lyle saying, do you think the schedule for the rest of our division is as tough as ours? Yeah, relatively. Obviously a couple different opponents in there, just based on divisional rankings last year, but relatively it is the same. As 124 Cappy coming in with a $10 super chat saying SKOL, let's go Vikes. 124, I'll sign your name on the ball. You go right on the other side of Roger Bong. How about that? 124, appreciate you. 124 Cappy, give me a SKOL Cappy down below in the comments section. Shout out to you, man, for contributing to our program here. Saying SKOL Vikes. Let's go Vikes. Let's do it. I'm with you, 120. I'm with you. Shout out to you. But if you guys are ready to go, we're going to dive into this preview right now. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And as Richard, never mind. We'll add your name, and then we'll dive into it here real quick. Richard saying, add me to call, baby. Let's go. Shout out to Richard, man. Love your profile pic, by the way. The Batman smacking Robin meme. That's awesome. Give me a SKOL Richard down below. Richard Winner. Let's go. There you go, man. Richard Winner on our ball. We already got 3 names on our week 2 football. Love to see it. Shout out to all of you guys for tuning in. Going to be a ton of fun on today's show. And, yeah, Tex, if you're ready to go, let's just dive into it. What's going on with Jordan Addison and Christian McCaffrey? That's what we're going to be talking about on the first half of today's show, as injury concerns around 2 star players heading into this matchup, Vikings versus the 49ers. What's going on, guys? My name is Patrick Siepman. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's live show. And then the second half of today's show, we're going to be deep diving into our full week 2 preview. Niners, Vikings. How can the Vikings get a victory? What have the Niners done this offseason? We'll cover up all that and more on today's show. But before we dive into that, guys, our Week 2 sub battle is here, and it's a close one. We are only 3 subscribers away from the 49ers report in subs gained this week. So if you guys haven't already, lock us in, hit that sub button, and help us beat the 49ers report in subs gained this week. So we got a big-time Christian McCaffrey injury update coming in from guys like George Kittle, Kyle Shanahan, the injury report, and Ian Rappaport. They all talked about Christian McCaffrey heading into this matchup versus the Minnesota Vikings as, you know, this is going to be a big loss for the Niners. I know Jordan Mason. He ran crazy versus the New York Jets this past week. But how long can the Niners, you know, withstand that blow of CMC not being in the lineup? We'll have to wait and see. But it's actually George Kittle after the game this past weekend saying, when Christian's back next week, you'll see some of those fun plays. You're going to see the offensive MVP go out there and be a really good football player again. Now, I will want to preface that quote with saying this. This was after the game. Immediately in his post-game interview, somebody asked him what's going on with Christian McCaffrey, and then he said that. But the next day at practice, Kyle Shanahan was asked about CMC's injury, and he revealed that it's tendonitis actually in his Achilles, saying the Achilles is tendonitis, and that stuff comes and goes. And when it is acting up, it's something you've got to be very careful about. Christian's very diligent about that stuff. And if it was a playoff game, he made it very clear to me he believed he could go. But when you hear that type of stuff and it's not a playoff game, it's week 1, and especially when you're dealing with the lower extremities like that, it was a tough decision. But hearing all the words in the long run, it made it easy. And then on top of that, Ian Rappaport earlier this morning said running back Christian McCaffrey, Achilles/calf, feels like a long shot for Sunday against the Vikings. Then we actually did just get an injury update a couple of seconds ago as Kyle Shanahan told reporters Christian McCaffrey will be limited today in practice, which is better than a DNP. Also says he's not considered a candidate for IR. So I think he's up in the air as questionable at this point. But if they don't have McCaffrey, they got a pretty good backup option. Jordan Mason was a late start for the San Francisco 49ers versus the New York Jets, and he ran crazy. This was actually the most amount of carries he had in a single game since, I believe, high school. Even at Georgia Tech, he didn't have this many carries in an outing, but he had 28, went for a $147, 5.3 yards per carry, and he did find the end zone one time, and he was great. So even if the Niners don't have McCaffrey, they still have a good running back behind him. So it'll be definitely still challenging to take away that running game. But how about Jordan Addison? What's going on with him? As in the first half against the New York Giants, he had a pretty solid outing. 3 receptions, 35 yards, average 11.7 yards per catch. You know, he was dealing with that ankle injury that he suffered against the Cleveland Browns in joint practice, but it was actually the other ankle that he aggravated this past weekend versus the Giants. And Darren Wolfson, longtime beat reporter for the Minnesota Vikings, said this: Jordan Addison playing Sunday against the 49ers at US Bank Stadium would be a bit aggressive. It would be a surprise. Now, if Addison is anything but 95, 100%, I'm probably leaning towards he should not play and he won't play in this ball game. This is a long season. You still got 15 games after this and hopefully a playoff game for our Minnesota Vikings. Don't risk it, especially with ankles. I'll make this comparison, especially with sprained ankles. If you take a rubber band and you stretch it out all the way, but it does not snap fully in half, that is a sprained ankle. And what happens to that rubber band? It becomes less sturdy and it starts getting flimsy. That's how your ankles are. You would almost rather have to break the whole rubber band and just get a new one, hence a broken ankle. But when you're dealing with ankles like that, I would, lean on the side of precaution instead of trying to force it out there for a week 2 matchup versus the Niners. But I think the Vikings are in good hands if Addison can't go. Now, Jalen Nailor's never been thrown into a role like this, where he is wide receiver 2, and you are, leaning on him to win routes throughout the entire game versus the San Francisco 49ers. He's never had to do that. Last week was his first time being wide receiver 3, And he did find the end zone on a beautifully drawn up play by Kevin O'Connell, but it was only one catch, 21 yards. He is going to need to step up and have a big-time performance versus Niners this weekend, especially if Jordan Addison can't go. But, injuries suck. I am definitely not a fan of them. And if you guys want the Vikings to stay healthy the rest of this season and wish them some good health on this one, hit that thumbs up icon. Like today's video, as injuries are the worst part of all sports, especially when it comes to football and our Minnesota Vikes. Coming up next on the program, though, my official Week 2 preview, Vikings-Niners. My thoughts coming up in just a second. But first off, I want to tell you guys about today's presenting sponsor, and that is Game Time. If you guys download the Game Time app and create an account and use promo code SHATSPORTS, we'll hook you guys up with $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Now, Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. Now, my favorite feature of the Game Time app is the views from your seat feature. You guys can see what exactly you guys will be looking at before you buy a ticket to whatever event it may be. You guys see it on the left side of your screen right now. It will literally show you your view from the exact seat you will be buying. So give Game Time a chance. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time and download their app. Create an account and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It's game time. Shout out to them for sponsoring today's edition of Vikings Now. All right, so let's start off with the Niners offseason as a whole, as it was a very busy and drama-filled offseason. And the biggest drama, not only around the San Francisco 49ers, but the entire NFL, was the Brandon Ayuk saga. Now, if you guys don't know, he was looking for a contract extension with San Francisco. They were going back and forth on a certain figure that they couldn't agree on. And then we heard reports he was getting traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers, Cleveland Browns, or even the New England Patriots. But they were able to hash that out and give him $30 million a year. Key note, though, he did not play in training camp, and he struggled in week 1. So maybe it's going to take him a couple weeks to get his legs underneath him. But also Trent Williams, in my opinion, the third best or fourth best football player in the entire National Football League behind Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Justin Jefferson. Trent Williams is fantastic. He truly is like the modern-day Joe Thomas, where he is an all-time great left tackle, best left tackle in the league by far, but he was holding out just to try to get some more guaranteed money on his deal and move the contract to more favor the upcoming years instead of backloading it. But he got paid, so he is happy there. And then Brock Purdy. There was a debate all offseason. How good is Brock Purdy? You turn on FS1, you turn on the Cow Herd, you turn on First Things First, whatever show you want to watch. They are always debating about Brock Purdy. Is he good? Is he a product of the system? People still don't know the answer to that. So Niners, drama-filled and definitely a busy offseason. But they started off the regular season scoring off against the New York Jets, and their offense looked good. They put up 401 yards total against a very, very good Jets defense. They had 25 first downs. They were 6 of 13 on third downs. They're actually 2 of 5 in the red zone, which is a key note there. But still, you get to the red zone 5 times on that. You know Kyle Shanahan's going to, improve that heading into next week. And also, key stat at the bottom, 0 turnovers. But Brock Purdy, that's the guy. That is the key to this whole Niners offense. Very similar to just how Sam Darnold's the key for the Vikes offense, where Brock Purdy this past week against the New York Jets, 19 of 29, 231 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Just kind of did what the offense asked him to do. But he is a guy, if you aren't on top of it and you aren't playing good defense, he can beat you. But let's talk about it. How do the Vikings get a victory versus the San Francisco 49ers, team that was representing the NFC in the Super Bowl this past season? Well, I got 5 keys to victory for you. Number 1, and this should be number 1. I am telling you, this should be the number 1 key to victory every single week moving forward. Win the turnover battle. And you may be asking why. Every team probably says going into each and every week, we need to win the turnover battle. But with the Vikings and under Kevin O'Connell, check out this stat. Shout out to Chat Stats for getting this one. The Vikings are 18-0, undefeated under Kevin O'Connell when they win or tie the turnover battle. Take care of the football and you will win this weekend. You win the turnover battle, you win this weekend. That is by far my number one key to victory versus San Francisco 49ers. Take care of the football, force one takeaway, and you should be celebrating a victory Monday for the second straight week. Number 2 for me, this guy right here, number 18, Justin Jefferson, the best wide receiver in the National Football League in my opinion. And yes, he did not light up the stat sheet this past week versus the New York Giants. But my take on it, nobody in the NFL can guard Jefferson one-on-one. So you let him dominate if they're giving him one-on-one opportunities, or you have him open up opportunities for other guys. I just watched a full film breakdown, Vikings versus Giants. Tell you what, the Giants were all over them. They were bringing safety help. They literally on 1/3 down just had their safety man up straight over the top of Justin Jefferson. It didn't matter what move he made. He had 2 dudes running the route with him. But what did that do? That opened up a seam to Josh Oliver. You know, a guy like Jordan Addison, Jalen Nailor. Obviously, if Addison plays, he should be able to take advantage. But Jalen Nailor, you are going to have a chance to have a big-time game against a good defense. We'll see if you can take advantage. Number 3 for me, you got to run the football. And again, this is one I could say every week. Like, a lot of these are chalk, like run the football, win the turnover battle. But with the Vikings, it matters. You know, the last 2 years, they ranked almost dead last in rushing yards per game, under 100 yards per game each of the last 2 seasons under KOC. This past weekend, 111 yards total. We're able to consistently run the ball, keep the Giants' defense kind of on their heels a little bit. If you can do that against the Niners, against Fred Warner and that front 7, it will open up a whole lot. But again, the Giants, compared to the Niners, it's a whole different beast. Now, you're also going to have to protect Sam Darnold because, you know, Sam Darnold is a really good quarterback when he has time. But when pressure in his face and he can't necessarily, you know, set his feet correctly and fully go through that full motion, he can struggle. And actually, the Vikings offensive line this past week played pretty well. Shout out to the tackles. Christian Darrisaw, Brian O'Neill, scoring out as a 79.4 grade for Darrisaw. Brian O'Neill, 85.9. And then clap it up for Blake Brandel. Look at that PFF grade, everybody. Do we finally have a left guard in Minnesota? Well, that beast, that left guard, put up a 91.2 PFF grade. Now you get to the struggles. Garrett Bradbury, Ed Ingram, where Ed Ingram actually had a whopping 9.9 pass blocking grade versus the New York Giants. If this 5 can get it done versus the Niners front, again, we should be celebrating another victory Monday this upcoming week. But this is the matchup that I probably should have put this as number 1, honestly. Well, obviously, you know, turnover battle should be number 1, but Brian Flores versus Kyle Shanahan. I cannot wait for this matchup. Even if I wasn't a Vikings fan, my favorite defense to watch in the National Football League is the Brian Flores defense. It's so unique. Nobody runs it like we do compared to the entire rest of the NFL, which is also why I think the Vikings defense is very hard to game plan for, because you can't really go off any other tape from another team, as it's really Flores' defense. It's his scheme that he is running. And I want to see if he brings more pressure than he did last week. Because last week, against the New York Giants, funny enough, Brian Flores ran cover 0 times. I guarantee you he would change that this upcoming week versus Brock Purdy and that 49ers offense. But speaking about the game, how do you see it shaking out? Predict the score for me down below. Vikings versus 49ers. That's my score prediction. Vikings fans, you're not going to like me for this one. I think it's going to be a tough game. I think it's going to be a tight game. I think it's going to be fourth quarter. It's going to be a 1-score game. But I do have the 49ers winning 17-16. Now, if the Vikings have Jordan Addison and he's a late, good-to-go type of move, I'll probably flip this to 20-17. Vikings get a victory. But the Niners' defense is tough. They're great in the red zone. And if the Vikings, if they're not able to, you know, scheme up open touchdowns like they did against the Giants, I can really see them having a tough time to move the football. So I'm hoping this is my worst take ever here on the channel. But my score prediction, 17-16. Addison plays, 20-17. Vikings get a victory. But as it stands right now, that's where I'm leaning. If you guys do want to give me a follow on Twitter, that's the handle right there, @PatSieps. Give me a follow over there, and I'll give you guys a follow right back. But thank you guys so much for watching today's show. SKOL Vikes. All righty. Sorry the break it to you guys, but if I'm just being unbiased and I'm just giving you guys my score prediction, that's what I think it is. Niners are the best team in the NFC right now. Them or the Lions. It's going to be a tough matchup. I'm hoping I am wrong, but I think it's going to be a tight game. I think the Vikings will cover that 6-point spread, but it's going to come down to the red zone. And, if the Vikings are able to scheme up some open touchdowns or whatever they can in the red zone, then obviously that score will end up being differently. But I think they're going to find the end zone one time this weekend, and then it's going to be 3 field goals. But if you turn one of those 3 field goals into a touchdown, we should be good to go. But we will be getting into a mailbag here in about 20, 25 minutes or so. So super chat or use hashtag Vikings to get your thoughts up on screen. But I know I just gave you my score prediction of 17-16 in favor of the San Francisco 49ers. But I'm going to tell you guys here in a second how the Minnesota Vikings can dominate the 49ers this weekend. Where I'm not just talking a victory. I'm talking maybe a 10-plus score victory for our Vikings this upcoming weekend. So if you guys could get those questions in there, hashtag Vikings or super chat to get up on the show. Tom Lyles going 30-27 Vikes in overtime. I hope so, man. I hope so. Richard saying, I'm thinking 23-20. Reichard hits a 50-plus yarder for the win as time expires. If that's the case, you guys should watch our watch party this upcoming weekend because it will be off the chain. Have faith. We got this. I got you, Raj. Hey, I know you guys are going to get on me for my score prediction. You guys wait till this next segment. There is a path because think about it. When I'm giving score predictions, I think everything's on a spectrum where, I don't, obviously you got to make a take here as what I do in media, but like the Niners could win by 30. The Vikings could win by 30. If a couple of things go certain ways, maybe it's the Vikings 23-13. A couple plays go the Niners' way. Maybe it's 27-13 Niners. I do think there's a scenario, though, where the Vikings could possibly beat the Niners by 10+. So, hey, I'm just being honest with you guys. If I got up on here every single week and said the Vikings are going to go 17-0, how could you guys take what I say seriously? I know you're probably a little disappointed, but, hey, that's just where I'm feeling right now. Still got the Vikes going 10-7 on the season. But you got to get a loss in there somehow. So, that's my score prediction. Tight game. I think the Niners get a field goal late to put them over the top, but that's what I'm going with as it stands right now. But I guarantee you I'll probably wake up Sunday and I'll almost promise a Vikings victory. But, we'll have to wait and see on that one. But let's dive into a show, how the Vikings can dominate the 49ers this upcoming weekend. Tex, if you're ready to go, let's get after it. Can the Minnesota Vikings dominate the San Francisco 49ers in week 2 of the NFL season? What's going on, everybody? Welcome in the Vikings Now. My name is Patrick Siepman, and the reason I wanted to do this show is because my initial score prediction for this week 2 matchup versus San Francisco, I actually got the Niners catching a very, very tightly contested victory versus our Minnesota Vikings with a score of 17-16. But I do think there's a scenario where the Vikings can win this football game by 2 scores, 10+. They just got to do these 5 things I'm going to tell you guys about here in a second. But hey, if you guys disagree with me, if you guys want the Vikings to catch a victory this weekend and shock the entire NFL world, hit that thumbs up icon. Like today's video. I put the goal on today's show as 1,000 likes. It will be one of the most liked videos in channel history. You guys want to help me out? Send a message to my bosses. Send a message to the rest of the NFL. Send a message to those Niner fans. Hit that thumbs up icon. But how do the Vikings win? Number 1, Sam Darnold has a masterclass type of performance. A lot of pressure, a lot of the expectations, and overall the offensive success will come down to the right arm of Sammy D. But if you guys look at the top 2 rated quarterbacks in the NFL this past week, according to PFF, well, they're actually squaring off this Sunday in US Bank Stadium, that being Brock Purdy and Sam Darnold, where Brock Purdy had an 89.6 overall grade, and Sam Darnold was the second highest rated quarterback with an 88.1 grade. And I thought Sam was great versus the Giants. That one interception, he just held on to the ball a little too long. Dexter Lawrence absolutely ragdolled Garrett Bradbury on that play, literally just threw him in the face of Sam Darnold. Ball got hit up in the air, ended up being an interception. But besides that, he was fantastic. Completing 19 of his 24 throws, 208 yards, 2 touchdowns. Just really did what the offense asked him to do. Didn't try to do too much, which I think is the right approach for Darnold this season. But some of his advanced stats from week 1 just got dropped. And his big-time throw percentage was set at 7.7%. So of all of his throws, 7.7% of the time they're considered big-time throws. Turnover-worthy throw percentage was actually 0. So he didn't have a single throw, according to PFF, where they viewed it as a turnover-worthy throw. His adjusted completion percentage here, though, was 87.5. Awesome stuff from Darnold from that stat. And then also his ADOT, his average depth of target, was 9.1. But there's even more advanced stats breaking down Darnold and just how truly special he was versus the Giants. His estimated points added plus his completion percentage over expected in a composite score. He ranked second in the entire National Football League, only second to Baker Mayfield, who he had a fantastic game versus the Washington Commanders. He's like 24 of 30, 300 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Shout out to the Bake Show for lighting up Washington in week 1. But my take on how the Vikings get a victory on the arm of Sam Darnold, the whole success, the whole game plan, everything about this game, and I hate putting this pressure on him, but it's true. It comes down to the right arm of Darnold. Like, there is no position in any sport that moves the needle or, plays an impact on winning more than the quarterback position. If Darnold replicates what he did against the New York Giants, hopefully doesn't turn the ball over. Hence, the Vikings are 18-0 under O'Connell. When they win the turnover battle, we should be celebrating another victory Monday this week. But number 2 for me, how do the Vikings win? How do they beat this juggernaut of the San Francisco 49ers? Consistent run game. Now, I don't mean a top 5 rushing attack in the league. I'm not saying you got to go run for 200 yards and you have multiple 50-plus yard rushes. Like, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying be consistent. Get 3, 4, 5 yards every single run, and we should be sitting pretty. And plus, you got a guy in Aaron Jones who should be fixing this run game. He was awesome against the New York Giants. The more I go back and watch that tape, the more I'm impressed with what number 33 did. But the raw stats look like 14 carries, 94 yards, 9.7 yards per carry, and he also found the touchdown 1 time. But we also have some advanced stats from Aaron Jones against the New York Giants as yards after contact. Fantastic for Jones. 74 of his yards came after he was hit. He ran 9 zone runs. 5 of them were gap runs, and he actually forced 4 missed tackles. And his elusive rating, according to PFF, very, very high. 132.1 grade for Aaron Jones. But, if the Vikings can't run the ball, it is going to be very challenging to move the ball consistently. Like, if we had Jordan Addison, I would feel more confident about it if, let's just say, the Niners weren't able to take away the run. I would still have more confidence in the Vikings being able to consistently move the football. But if they can't run the ball, you're really just banking on Sam Darnold, Justin Jefferson, Jalen Nailor, and the brains of Kevin O'Connell to get a consistent offense this week. And again, if we had Hawk, if we had Jordan Addison, you're feeling different about this game. And that's why I hate putting this out there. But if the Vikings go out there and they get smacked by the Niners, and let's just say Addison does end up not playing, missing these 2 guys is key. If we can somehow get through this time without Hawk being in the lineup, and you're somehow 2-2 if he comes back week 5 versus the Jets, or maybe he waits till after the bye and you're 3-2 somehow, it would be huge because these 2 play such an impact out there on the football field, and a consistent run game will kind of help mask, them not being there. But number 3 for me is the Justin Jefferson effect. Now, I think Jefferson, I've said it before, I think he's a top 5 player in the entire league. I think he truly is the best non-quarterback in the entire league. Him or Trent Williams, I go back and forth, but against the New York Giants, like, the stats aren't going to blow you away, but I don't think that's where his impact was shown the best. 4 receptions, 59 yards, 1 touchdown for Jefferson. But the thing about Jettas is the Giants, over and over again, just had that safety sitting over the top. And what does that do? That allows Jalen Nailor, Jordan Addison, Josh Oliver to get these one-on-one opportunities where it's just like, you win your route, we have a productive play. Now, I do want to get you guys the snap alignment for Justin Jefferson in this game. as he did run 10 snaps from the slot, and that's actually supposed to say 18. He ran 18 snaps out wide, which is 46.3%. So 35% of the time he was in the slot, 46% of the time he was out wide. And then obviously we know that one play when he was in the backfield for the Minnesota Vikings. But, if Addison's not able to be there, you got to have somebody else step up in this wide receiver room. Like, Jalen Nailor, he'll no doubt be that wide receiver too, but you got to hope a guy like Tristan Jackson's able to go, because he was a shocking late scratch against them this past week. As, I fully thought he was going to be able to get out there and, play against the New York Giants, but he was a late scratch. And you still got guys like Brandon Powell who got a consistent or got a good amount of run against the Giants. So somebody besides Jefferson's going to have to step up, no doubt about it. And for me, it's got to be Jalen Nailor. Now, he did only have that one reception versus the Giants. It was on a beautifully drawn up play by Kevin O'Connell, but that play went for 21 yards. And, Nailor's never been thrown in this type of spot. Like, anytime he's had this, spot start for a guy like KJ Osborne, he's done a pretty good job, but he's never had to be the wide receiver too. But when you're playing against with a guy like Jefferson, you're still going to get one-on-one opportunities. We'll see if Speedy Nailor can take advantage. But speaking about the offense here, over-under, let me ask you guys this. 19.5 points for the Vikings this Sunday. You guys let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Give me an O for over or give me a U for under. Now, today's show is sponsored by Prize Picks, the #1 daily fantasy sports app out there. And if you guys use promo code CLNS, you guys will get $50 instantly when you play just $5. That's code CLNS on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. And the best part is you don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Now, one Caleb Williams passing yard gets you one win on Prize Picks every week in September. That's right. Only 1 yard gets you an automatic win every football weekend in September. That is 3 more weeks of free W's. So don't miss this deal on Prize Picks, because it's gone once September ends. You can win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. So download the Prize Picks app today. Use code CLNS and get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code CLNS on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. And you don't even need the win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game. Now, a huge help to the Vikings getting a massive victory this weekend would have to be a bad Brock Purdy game. Now, the Vikings and the 49ers squared off last year on Monday Night Football, and Purdy struggled. He was 21 of 30, 272 yards, but this was the kicker. He threw 2 interceptions and only found the end zone 1 time, and both those interceptions actually came to Cameron Bynum, so shout out to him. So the Vikings are going to have to force Purdy to throw the ball, and if you guys see that stat, Purdy threw the ball 30 times in the game last year. Well, more chat stats for you guys. Brock Purdy last season, when throwing the ball 30-plus times, the Niners' record was 2-3. Now, you normally see these stats with quarterbacks when they throw it 35, 40-plus times. But just 30-plus times for Brock Purdy, the Niners were 2-3. Take away that run game. Force Brock Purdy to beat you. If he goes 25 of 37 for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns, I am okay with it. That's how I want to lose this game. I do not want to lose this game for having, Mason just killing us on the ground. Have it be this way. Force Purdy to beat you, and I think we got a good chance. But my last takeaway and my last kind of key to victory here, how the Vikings get a massive win, Kevin O'Connell dials it up. Now, I thought this past week versus the New York Giants was some of his best play calling of his NFL career so far. And I do want to highlight 2 plays for you guys. So this was both touchdowns that came through the air. This was end of the first half, 6:57 left, 4th and 2. They got Justin Jefferson split out wide, one-on-one with Deonte Banks. Clearly, the Giants were bringing pressure on this. They motioned Aaron Jones to just confirm that the Giants were running man coverage, and then it was just one-on-one with Jefferson versus a second-year corner. This was beautiful by O'Connell. Again, poor defense by the Giants on this one as well. But again, I give O'Connell credit for this play. You got a one-on-one opportunity with your best player against a second-year corner. And now this play, the Jalen Nailor touchdown, this was freaking beautiful. And I fully anticipate to see other play callers in the NFL take this play for themselves. But they motioned Jefferson into the backfield. He ran some orbit motion, and it was almost a read option where he either had to take the handoff or take the ball and hand off to Aaron Jones, and then he pump faked the bubble screen to Jefferson, and then Addison got the cornerback to bite, and then he just threw it over the top, wide open, butt-naked touchdown for Jalen Nailor there. But this is a prove-it game for the coaching staff this Sunday. I think in this game, these are two of the better coaching staffs in the entire National Football League. It is Brian Flores versus Kyle Shanahan. It is Kevin O'Connell versus that star-studded Niners defense with Sam Darnold being your quarterback. Can Kevin O'Connell put on a masterclass and have Sam Darnold light it up this Sunday? This is a prove-it game, because if they do that, we're going to be talking about this coaching staff a whole lot differently. But, hey, I said it. My score prediction, 17-16, 49ers get a win. We'll make a note. If Jordan Addison plays, I'm switching that to 2017 Vikings. I think they'll find the end zone one more time. But you guys let me know. Predict the score of Vikings versus Niners down below in the comments section. Now, if you guys want to give me a follow on Twitter as well, that's a handle right there, at Pat Sieps. If you guys give me a follow over there, I'll give you guys a follow right back. But thank you guys so much for watching today's show. As always, SKOL Vikings. All righty. Was that okay with you guys? Me going in favor of the Vikings on that show? You guys were not happy with me choosing the Niners, but Gray Warden saying, I think Van Ginkel, Harrison, and Bynum combined for 5 INTs with at least 1 return for 6. And I think our D-line combines for 7 sacks and at least 2 of them from Dallas Turner. Gray Warden, if that happens, I will be so thankful for you. But I'm Max saying 27-20 Vikings. Purple and Gold Bars saying 27 Vikings, 20 49ers. Eric LaPointe, skol, skol, skol. Skol from New Mexico, Mr. Pat. Skol to all the Purple fams. Skol, skol, skol. Shout out to Eric LaPointe. Eric, I literally put your chain or your necklace in my bag, so we will have it for the watch party. Eric, if that chain gets us a victory this Sunday, I am wearing it every single week for the rest of the year. I don't care. If the Vikings win this Sunday because I'm wearing that, we will wear it every single day. Richard saying, I'm sticking with 23-20 Vikings victory. Hey, I hope you guys are right. I hope you guys, or hope I'm wrong. Like, I would love to get up on here, post-game reaction. I'll literally put Patrick's score prediction at the bottom and be like, I'm an idiot. I was wrong. I was not drinking enough purple Kool-Aid. But, again, would you guys respect me if every single week I got up on here and I just said, oh, Vikings are going to win every single week. They're going 17-0. It's all sunshine and rainbows. No, I think this game will play out like that. And maybe the Vikings prove me wrong. Maybe they don't stall out in the red zone. But I'm sticking with 17-16 Niners win. But, hey, we got a mailbag coming up here. If you guys want to get your questions in, super chat or use hashtag Vikings in the live chat right now. Still got to or still have a ton of room to put some names on the football. $5 super chat. You get your name up there. If they don't put them on. Tom Wiles saying you're going to bust out a game jersey this weekend. I'm thinking about it, Tom. I don't know. We won week 1 with me wearing generic Chat Sports merch. So I don't know. Honestly, no, I wouldn't want it if Homer, I have Paul Allen. Yeah, I'm sure PA's picking the Vikings to win this week, but I just think the Niners are a tough test. And I don't think, like, if the Vikings lost 17-16 without Addison and Hockenson, I'm feeling great about this football team. Like, fantastic. I'll tell you what, when Stephon Diggs makes his return week 3, I will be picking the Minnesota Vikings. Yeah, we do need some more questions for our mailbag. So if you guys could, hashtag Vikings. Richard, ask a question about the game this upcoming weekend. Love to hear from you. Reen and Angie saying my score still rename 34-28 Vikings. I would love that. If the Vikings put up 34 points on the Niners defense, that would be awesome. Dwayne saying 31-17 Vikes. Richard saying Percy Harvin or Jared Allen jersey. Which one should I wear? The Jared Allen 69 jersey is fresh, man. But Percy Harvin's also one of my favorite Vikes of all time. Ooh, I don't know. That's a tough one. That's a tough one, Richard. What jersey, Richard, let me ask you this, thinks gives you more luck? Is it Jared Allen or is it Percy Harvin? I would feel like the Jared Allen jersey has a little more luck to it. Gray Warden saying 17-13 Vikings win with 1 TD each from JJ and Aaron and a 55-yard field goal. And then Richard saying hashtag, oh, Richard, you got to put hashtag Vikings on that. Over under 3 INTs for the Vikes versus the Niners. I'm going to probably say under. Purdy does a good job of taking care of the football, but, who knows? He threw 2 interceptions last year against the Vikes on Monday Night Football, where shout out Kirk Cousins. He actually played a phenomenal game. Got Dolphins-Bills tomorrow, Thursday Night Football. That'll be a fun one. Richard saying Jared Allen is for sure the luckier one. Then, Richard, what's the question here? Rock the Jared Allen jersey. Come on, Rich. Dwayne saying Vikings 4 sacks, 2 INTs. I hope so. Gerald. Gray Warden saying wait. I also said pick 6 from our D, so it'll be 23-13. You're all good, Gray. I'll remember that. Tom Wiles saying Jared in the first half, Percy in the second half. But, Tom, what happens? Let me ask you this, Mr. Tom Wiles. What happens if the Vikings are up like 17-10 in the first half? Are you switching to the Percy? I actually say we ride with this. Richard, Tom, huddle up right here. I say we go Jared Allen first half, and you're wearing it confidently. And if the Vikings are either tied or winning, you rock Jared Allen for the second half. But if the Vikings are losing, let's just say it's a blowout, you got to switch it up, and you got to go with Jalen Naylor, Percy Harvin. A little bit of a connection there, Jalen Naylor and Percy. There's Adam Schmidt saying, huddle up, huddle up. Shout out to Adam Schmidt, man. Man, you were awesome this past weekend. I already hit you up on Twitter, but Adam Schmidt, if everybody could, give me a SKOL Adam in the comments section. If you guys don't know about him and you watch his channel, I don't know what you're doing. He is the best. He supports the show. He's the reason why we're able to get producers for our watch parties and our weekly live shows. So shout out to Adam Schmidt. Adam saying SKOL Seeps. SKOL Adam. Shout out to you, man. Tom Lyle says I'm down. Richard saying deal. Ian saying Chiefs Kingdom. Shout out to Ian. We got Chiefs fan in the chat. See you in the Super Bowl, Mr. Ian. Adam, what a jersey are you rocking this Sunday? Or what about Tom Lyles? I want to know what jersey Tom Lyles is rocking. Or Gray Warden. You guys let me know in the comments. What jersey are you rocking for good luck this week against the 49ers? And we'll dive into the mailbag here in a second. Just use hashtag Vikings in the live chat or super chat to get up on show. Every $5, we do have our Week 2 MVP football. Niners at Vikings, Week 2 MVP. Already got a bunch of real ones on there. It's a great Warden saying, I'm buying a Vikes jersey for my birthday in November, but I'm not sure what one I should get. Which one should I get? Vikings jersey. So you got to think, I want you to have this jersey and be able to wear it for a good amount of time. You got to think about guys who just got extended. Jefferson is obviously a great choice. I wouldn't hate a Christian Darrisaw jersey. He just got locked up, one of the best left tackles in the league, and I feel like that's a cool jersey to wear because you never see anybody wearing offensive lineman jerseys. I actually am talking myself into maybe getting a Christian Darrisaw jersey right now. Like a Darrisaw jersey would just be sweet. 71, big fella jersey. You show love to the dudes in the trenches because everybody's got a Jefferson jersey. I got a Jefferson jersey. Your mom's got a Jefferson jersey. Everybody does. But besides Darrisaw or Jefferson, I mean, you could go either of the rookies, like Dallas Turner or J.J. McCarthy. I mean, yeah, McCarthy would be a good call. Dallas Turner would be a good call, too. Are the questions not pulling? Oh, gotcha. Yeah, if you guys could get a question in there, hashtag Vikings. All right, bet. Yeah, no, you're good. Gotcha. Yeah, Wazazi, hashtag Vikings. Sorry, came late. Is McCaffrey playing? We'll answer that in our mailbag, but most likely not, even though they did get a positive update for the Niners today. And Max saying, rock that Greg Lewis Vikings jersey in honor of that Favre TD laser as time expired versus the Niners. Yeah, that's a fantastic call by Paul Allen on that one. That would be a good one. That would be a good one, M-Mac. I could see myself in a tackles jersey. I'm pretty big myself, 6'4", 300. Well, then you got to get Darrisaw. You love the big fellas. We love the big fellas. We love the dudes in the trenches here. So, yeah, I'd probably go Darrisaw. Richard saying I will at some point this season get myself a CJ Ham jersey because I love waking distant from his college go on. Oh, I didn't know that. Shout out to you, Richard. Adam Schmidt saying, like the 84, I won on the raffle, but the old lady keeps trying to steal it. So might have to do Tarkington. Know if I ever get the big three, she'll take it immediately or maybe drape it over Minnie Schmidt. Adam, I will send you that jersey this week. But Adam, do you got like a secondary address that I could send that to you so Mrs. Schmidt doesn't get her hands on it? You gotta let me know. See, Adam, but if I do send it to you, you gotta send me a picture with probably the back where it says SKOL Adam. Because I was thinking about rocking it on game days this year, but I kind of want, like, obviously I want you to have it. So yeah. Richard saying, you said what? You good? All right. Purple and gold, I still rock the Cordarrelle Patterson from time to time. That's an awesome one. Hashtag Vikings got a team rushing yards prediction. Love that, Tom Lyles. But hey, we're going to dive into this mailbag right now. Appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. Yeah, great audience today. Appreciate you guys, man. Ton of fun. 1-0 Vikes taking on the 1-0 49ers. It's going to be a battle this weekend. But let's dive into our mailbag. Favorite part here at Chat Sports is when I answer questions from all the real ones. So let's do it. It's mailbag time here on Vikings Now by Chat Sports. Welcome in. My name is Patrick Siepman. This is my favorite part of my job here where I just get to chop it up with you guys. You guys ask me questions during our live show, and I give you guys answers. But with the game this Sunday, San Francisco 49ers coming to town, the battle of the two 1-0 teams. If you guys want the Vikings to beat the 49ers this upcoming weekend, SKOLs all throughout the comments section. I want the comment section to look like what it's going to look like. This Sunday, 49ers, the Gallahorn is going off. Everybody watching right now, if you love the Vikes and you want a victory this Sunday, give me a SKOL down below in the comments section. Tom Lyles saying, do you think the schedule for the rest of our division is as tough as ours? Relatively is, because you play, obviously, divisional opponents. You play the same divisions in the opposing conference. But, where it differentiates is, the random AFC team you play and the other team that you play that rank the same in your division in the NFC. So, relatively, the whole NFC North has a tough schedule. But with the Vikings, getting the Rams as like a wild game, can't really think of any off the top of my head. But the Vikings schedule is brutal to open it up. I mean, you go Niners, Texans, Packers, Jets, Lions, Rams, Jags, Colts. Like, it is a very tough stretch of football for our Vikings. But how do you make the schedule not look as challenging? You'd be a really good football team. And I think the Vikings might be that. But, and Matt coming in with the next question. Appreciate you, my man. Saying, do you believe that the 49ers will allow cornerback Chardavius Ward to hit free agency? And if so, do you believe the Vikings will target him? Great question, Mac, by the way. I would hope they would. I mean, Chardavius Ward is a phenomenal quarterback for San Francisco. And, obviously we got Gilmore on this one-year deal. Byron Murphy's actually on an expiring deal right now. So the cornerback room heading in the next offseason, I promise you right now, I don't care how this season goes. When you look at the top needs on the Vikings offseason heading into next year, it is cornerback, and then it's a 40-foot gap, and then it's interior offensive linemen. So I'm assuming Ward will be one of the guys that Kwesi targets, but they're probably either going to draft one or give a big-time free agent a lot of money. Hopefully helps solidify, that cornerback room. But KOC's burner, what's up, Kevin O'Connell? Saying, how can the hashtag Vikings defense limit Brock Purdy through the air? Well, the number one way you do that is you take away the run game. If they're able to set up the play action and then receivers start running wide open, like, Purdy's going to end up killing you. But the Vikings were able to take away the run game last year. And Brock Purdy, he struggled. He threw two fourth-quarter interceptions. And actually, fun fact, every single time Purdy threw the ball over 30 times last season, the Niners had a losing record. They were actually 2-3. So force Purdy to beat you. Take away that run game. I don't care if it's McCaffrey, Adrian Peterson, LaDainian Tomlinson running the rock for San Francisco. You take away that run game, and then you will be able to limit Brock Purdy through the air this upcoming weekend. But great question, KOC's burner. Hey, Kevin O'Connell, keep dialing it up for our Vikes this weekend. But hey, SKOL Nation coming in, saying, who is the biggest X factor for the Vikings versus the 49ers. I could get this question every single week, and my answer will be Sam Darnold. So I will not say Sam Darnold. If I had to go another X factor, if I could find another X factor this weekend, I'm going to go Jalen Naylor. I have no reports as we're filming this if Addison will play, but if Addison is out, I'm going Jalen Naylor as the biggest X factor by far. Could go another guy like maybe Jonathan Grenard. You're going to want to get home against the Niners, for sure. So I'd go Jalen Naylor. Second one, Jonathan Grenard. But biggest X factor every single week for the rest of the season is obviously Sam Darnold. But hey, you guys let me know. Name that X factor for me. Who is it for the Vikings this upcoming weekend? Drop that name or maybe position group down below in the comment section. Curious to see what y'all have to say. Now, I do want to give a big-time shout-out to today's presenting sponsor, and that is Game Time. If you guys download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Now, Game Time is an awesome app, and it even got a little bit more awesome with a new feature they have called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. My favorite feature of the Game Time app is the views from your seat feature where you can see exactly what you'll be looking at before you buy the ticket to whatever event it may be. You guys see it on the far left of your screen right now. If you guys chose that seat for that Rams-Chargers game, that's what you'll be looking at before you even buy a ticket to whatever event it may be. So download Game Time app today and take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Create an account and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It is game time. Got that link for you guys in the comments and description of today's show. Roger Bong, real one, coming in saying, how is Jordan Addison? At the time we're filming this right now, TBD, but it is looking like he will not be playing this Sunday versus the San Francisco 49ers. So, my score prediction's been 17-16 Niners. But if Jordan Addison's out there, I'm going to flip it to 2017 Vikings get the victory because he would just help out, in the red zone especially. He caught 2 touchdowns versus them this past season. So, Roger, appreciate it, but most likely not, or more likely than not, Addison will not play. Maya's World, what's going on? Saying, what's up, Patty Siepman? Do you think the Vikings would make it to the Super Bowl this season? SKOL Vikings, let's go. Maya's World talking Super Bowl here. It's going to be a long shot, but let's play a little hypothetical here. Let's just say Sam Darnold, if he takes that Baker Mayfield, Geno Smith type of leap, and you got Jefferson, you got Addison, and let's just say the coaching staff lives up to all the hype, around them. Outside chance, maybe, most likely not, but I'll tell you this, Miles World, you get into the dance, anything can happen. Make the playoffs, and then we'll start talking Super Bowl. But hey, I appreciate your question. Richard Winter coming in saying, how long can Sam Darnold maintain this level of success for the Vikings? We'll have to wait and find out. I thought this past weekend against the Giants was, probably one of his best of his NFL career. But again, like I've been saying all offseason, this is the best support system Darnold has had in his entire career. Go back to his time with the New York Jets. Did they help him out? Hell no. When he was with the Panthers, did they give him a good chance to succeed? Hell no. But with the Vikings, with your offensive line, with Kevin O'Connell, you got the best wide receiver. You got a great wide receiver too. And then once you get TJ Hawkinson back from injury, I'm thinking he'll be able to maintain it. But Richard, the main part about Darnold's success is how can he last for the next, I think it's 7 games. Because you go Niners, Texans, Packers, Jets, Lions, Rams. If he is able to keep the Vikings floating around 500 there, I think we could be setting ourselves up for a potential playoff experience this upcoming week. SKOL Vikes saying, how can the Vikings beat the 49ers this week? I actually got 5 reasons for you, SKOL Vikes. And, number one reason, don't turn the ball over. The Minnesota Vikings are 18-0 under Kevin O'Connell when they just win the turnover battle or they tie it. They just can't lose the turnover battle, and they are undefeated under Kevin O'Connell over the last 3 seasons. But also you let 18 dominate. You either let Justin Jefferson take advantage of one-on-one opportunities, or he's going to be getting double teamed all the time. It should open up some one-on-one chances for Naylor, for Josh Oliver. You want to be able to run the ball for the Niners pass rush. Can't just pin their ears back and get to the quarterback. Also, got to keep Sam Darnold upright. But my last key to the victory, Flores versus Kyle Shanahan. Who wins that matchup? If it's Flores, we'll be celebrating a victory Monday. Aaron Jones burner account. If Sam Darnold plays well all season, what should the Vikings do with Darnold? I was hoping you guys wouldn't ask me this, because this is the question I am dreading answering this offseason. Hypothetical world right now. Let's just say the Vikings go 10-7, win a playoff game, and it's on the back and it's on the arm of number 14. You have an incredibly tough decision on what to do, because this was not supposed to be a year for the Vikes where they go on a playoff run and they win a playoff game. What would you do with J.J. McCarthy? I wouldn't hate just re-signing Sam Darnold to another 1-year deal and sitting J.J. McCarthy another year. I think that's on the table. But let's just say Sam Darnold, let's just say he goes for 35 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, and it's an unreal year from Darnold. I'm assuming he's going to want to get, at least a 2-3 year deal, maybe a tag and trade. Maybe you just let him walk. Maybe you bring him back on a 2-year deal and you kind of go the Jordan Love route with J.J. McCarthy. But I don't have a good answer for you yet. But we got to see the rest of these games, and then I'll make my decision on that one. But Gray Ward and Harold coming in saying, what do you think the Vikings run game ends up averaging per game this season? Anything over 100 plus. That's all I want. Last 2 years under O'Connell, they've been more of a finesse football team, as why they haven't ran for over 100 yards in each of the last 2 seasons, which was ranking 27th and 29th in the NFL. So if I had to pick a number, I'll go 107 rushing yards per game. Last question coming in from Love the Vikes. Who is your favorite Vikings player? I'll give you 2 answers. I'll give you my favorite Vikings player currently and all time. Currently, it is Justin Jefferson, but again, that's kind of a chalk answer. If I had to go another guy, it's actually got to be new addition, Andrew Van Ginkel. I love watching him play football. Obviously, he's coming off his pick 6, so a little recency bias in that answer. But all-time favorite Vikes player, got to go number 28 all day, Adrian Peterson. Yeah, that's what I'll do there. But you can also go sneaky one, Sidney Rice. How about that? But appreciate the question. Love the Vikes. And then we got a super chat coming in at the last second. Scott Hernan saying, yeah, buddy. Good job, Seeps. You guys got us. Going to be a long season. We definitely need a new QB. Maybe we'll sign Darnold. LOL. Much love, bro. Much love to you, too, as well, Scott Hernan. If you guys don't know, diehard Giants fan. Shows a lot of support to us here on Vikings Now. Scott, you know what's my guarantee for week 2? You ready for this? Giants whoop the Commanders 33-10. That's my bold prediction, hot take for week 2. But shout out to you, Scott Hernan. I appreciate you tuning in. All right, but if you guys made it to the end of today's mailbag, give me a SKOL down below in the comments section so I can see where all the real ones are. Again, make it look like US Bank Stadium on game day. If you guys want to give me a follow on Twitter as well, that's the handle right there, at Pat Seeps. Give me a follow over there. Give you guys a follow right back. See you guys next time. SKOL Vikes. All righty. Appreciate you guys. We are going to have to sign off here on our live show. My man Tex has to go over to our Saints channel. So if you guys want to check that out, Saints Now by Chat Sports. But appreciate all the super chats coming in today. Was a ton of fun. I cannot wait for this week 2 matchup versus the 49ers. Tune in for a watch party. We'll be going live an hour before kickoff. It's going to be a ton of fun, as I don't want to tease it too much here. Don't want to give too much away. But our raffle item, how about this? I'll give you guys a hint. The hint is Aaron Jones, and it's not a jersey. That's my hint for you guys, and I'll let you guys think about that. But we'll see you guys next time. As always, SKOL Vikes.